you to give me at least three things that you know that you benefit from as a Black man.
I don't think there's a privilege that I experience as a Black man. I think there's privileges that I experience as a man, if that makes any sense.
Then let me hear those three.
Okay, I would say being safe in the work field, I would say. Give me a second.
Hold
This
on,
obviously a lot.
human. I'm going to drop you for a second because someone else paid. And also, video guys, someone told me to tell you to change your name to radio.
I can't. I work in production and broadcast. That's who I am.
I don't think you got the joke, but okay. Z, what were you saying?
got it.
So
Me
Z, you
talking.
said workforce. What else?
Okay, it's fine.
I'm not too sure if like you would consider the pay gap with that or not.
So you said, is workforce protection and pay gap the same?
I'm asking you, like, if you see them as the same, I can agree with that. If you don't, like, I would say that.
No, I just would like for you, from your perspective, to give us three things that you know you benefit from being a man.
Being believed, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Okay. And just being able to, damn, I don't want to say that because that sounds weird.
No, go ahead and say it.
Assert dominance, if that makes any sense.
That's interesting. Now, so for clarity,
and I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way. I'm not really good with like using certain words. So like I just like put things in layman's terms.
I can definitely pick up that is where you struggle. So to clarify, asserting dominance, meaning and let me know if I'm wrong, I want clarity here. When you say assert dominance, that means that men get to be aggressive with impunity. That means that you all get to be upset and angry and punch walls, and
Agreed.
and you all can express that openly without any consequence. You said protection in the workforce, and you said to be believed.
Agreed.
Do you believe that any of those things apply to women?
No.
I'm confused on your question exactly. Like, what do you mean by apply? Like
Do you
affect
think
you
that?
guys, or
Do you
like
think that women in any space can be aggressive, can stand up for themselves, and be believed, and be protected at work?
No.
Okay, so you do have an understanding of male privilege,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
the fact that does not equate to what women can do.
Yeah. Completely agree.
So now I would like for you to kind of just maybe some homework if you're interested, because it sounds like you're willing to learn and you're willing to open up your mind to receive more. And I understand that some of the women on this panel aren't able to give you that space. I'm an educator, so I always want to at least give somebody something to leave with. I feel that you're able to definitely pull out how you benefit as a man, but I would really encourage you to sit down and understand how you benefit as a Black man, because there are benefits and privileges as a Black man that you hold over Black queer individuals and over Black women and over Black children. If we look at the Black community as its own world, right, as its own little microorganism of society, Black men are at the top, and they, for the most part, are always centering themselves. And because they are a man, even though they are Black, they are then tyrants, and they are not able to pull other people up because they want to have that level of control. So as a challenge, if you're willing to learn more, and if you're willing to learn more, I would give a suggestion to not just you, but anyone else listening. Will to Change by Bell Hooks is a great book. But you do have privileges as a Black man. And I think this is where we're always finding ourselves in the echo chamber, because you don't believe that you have privileges as a Black man, and you do. And you all use those privileges to try and control other people.
Okay. What was the name of the book again?
Will to Change by Bell Hooks.
Okay. So I have done some research
Question about that.
Black male privilege, and there's reasons why I don't agree with like certain things, but I will read this book since you suggested it. And once again, I'm not sitting here trying to say like, hey, this is how you guys should do this, right? I'm just saying things that like I understand that like a lot of men will think and internalize, because like we live in a patriarchal society and has played like a role in this so heavily, right? Women are already sexualized, right? So when you give like, this is my perspective on this. I can't tell you what to do at the end of the day, right? If you think the 4B movement is the best for you, power to you. Men already view women as sexual objects. We don't view them as humans, damn near. So when you give, like I said, this is my perspective. When you give power to like sex so much, men are going to internalize this thing. And I think that, like, for us is already problematic. And I think it's going to play on it. And I know that's not like you guys' like intentions with it at all, but like there's problems like with like within us. So like I think the best way like for us to actually understand where you guys are coming from is actually to have like more of these conversations to show your perspective on how you live your life. Now, like if you don't want to do that, like obviously
The problem is when we have these conversations, especially when the men have these conversations, they're called simps and all types of, you know what I'm saying, like queer phobic or homophobic names. And when the women have these conversations, they're widely ignored. And so you say, keep having these questions. The thing is, right, is that instead of constantly questioning whether these movements make sense or not, and Sean was making a good point, like when Black people protest, they're like, oh, don't protest like that. Like, don't kneel and be quiet and not cause harm at all. Don't march in the streets. Don't do this. Don't do that. Instead of telling people, especially the marginalized group, instead of telling them how to protest, how to fight back against their oppression, simply support them. Simply support them in the way that they deem is the best route for them to take in order to vocalize how they're being oppressed. But more so than that, before having opinions on a topic or subject or something of that nature, then maybe, exhaust all efforts to do the research.
And also, it seems like what you're saying is keep sleeping with us, but just talk more.
I'm not even saying
because wait, you're saying don't use that. Don't use laying with men. That's the thing, right? So you're saying the alternative would be what? Don't stop sleeping with us, and that serves who? Men. It doesn't serve us because most women don't even have an O. Most women don't even enjoy it. And
only
also,
67%
the STD
of
rate.
heterosexual women orgasm. Only 67%.
Exactly. And that's alone mostly. And then men don't even get tested. And then what's the biggest complaint we hear from, especially Black men online? Child support. Won't be no child support. You don't have to worry about it. You won't be mad at baby mamas. Won't say single mothers are the bane of the existence. Send everybody to prison and we're terrible and we can't raise a man. You know what? This feeds into exactly what we have been listening. We have been talking. You're not listening to us still, even in this conversation. And we have been listening. And they have said over and over through the things they've said that they hate us. They hate us. Why would I lay down with somebody who hates me? Why would I continue to do? I know we've done it in the past. We had no choice. We have a choice now. And that's why they're actively trying to take more rights away so that we have to lay down with men. No, so not that, because they don't care about poor men really having partners. They want us to lay down with men so that we can continue to fill the prisons, because poor people are going to be more criminalized for being homeless, not being able to pay bills, etc. And so they can have workers for billionaires to make money. They don't care about you getting none, and we don't care about you getting none. So I don't know what y'all going to do.
Z, where I'm so confused.
Then there's still a cognitive dissonance between that, because they will say, oh, no man should treat my daughter like this. My daughter's a princess. And then they'll be out here ripping and running through the streets and still treating other people's daughters like shit. I land.
Okay.
I mean, not every man really is being selfish about it. Like, I'm all for women that don't want to be with Black men. Why should Black men want that woman to be with him? Like, why would you want anybody that don't want you? That's just number one. So I'm all for the movement. I feel like out of all the stuff I've heard on social media when it comes to, going against Black men, whether it be bashing or just telling a man, giving honest criticism, but in a negative fashion about what he's not doing right, this is the solution. If you don't like that Black man, you don't feel like you're safe around that Black man, stay far away from him. And in this time, that Black man will learn that, you know what, I got to work on myself, focus on my bag, and take care of what I got to take care of, because relationships cost and kids cost. So he'll be saving a whole lot more money and a whole lot more time to do the things that he likes to do without feeling he has to split his time up. So I'm all for that movement. I feel like this is a solution in the Black community.
Okay, go ahead, Seven.
That's what I said, but that was completely out of nowhere and nothing to do with what I just said.
Yeah, and also I don't see anywhere on the prompt where it says Black men. Actually, it says Korean style. I don't understand where it says it's just West. That means women in the West. That doesn't mean only Black women.
I'm not concerned with white men. I'm concerned with only black men, and I'm a black man. I'm not concerned with what the white man is going through or what Asian men are going through. Men don't get
The
together, hold
movement has
hands, and
nothing to do with black men.
closing her legs doesn't mean that's abstinence. Abstinence is a choice, but he can be inspired and decide, you know what? Even though all women are not doing it, the ones that holler at me right now, it's not the time for that. I'm working on me. Like, if you go 90 days without it, it's not the same urges. So now he can really have mental clarity and discipline and decide what's more important to him instead of always putting smacks at the top of his list. So I'm only concerned with how black men can benefit or how black men are hurt by the movement. I don't feel like black men will be hurt by the movement. The lames that's really going to be thirsty and desperate trying to convince women to change their mind or feel like, insecure, like they don't feel validated by women, they can go to the wayside. The real men can realize, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity for me to save a whole lot more money because relationships cost, and work on myself and do the things I like to do, selfish or not. The first law of human nature is self-preservation. He'll have all the time in the world to do that.
Would you look at that?